Warning! This podcast You know what? I'm tired of these motherfucking zombies on this motherfucking plane.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Fear the Walking Dead, Flight 462. I am your host, Clio, and with me I have John and Dom.
Hello.
How's it going?
What is up? So how did you fellas like this web series?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
It
was nice, short, concise, to the point, and gave us that little bit of mystery. Mm-hmm. And the sprinkled connections.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was revealed before this, started to even air, that it was made to, introduce a character that was going to be on the next season of Fear.
Yeah, I kind of
I think it's safe to assume it's Charlie. The lady in the green jacket.
Yeah, she was badass.
Well, and I believe she's the mystery you were
sick
referring
with
to.
a big pen all up in your shit, man.
Was that a pen? I thought she took
know.
the lady.
No,
was it? It looks like a pen.
Crochet needle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought it was like I thought it was a
sewing needle.
I thought it was one of those clear plastic purple pens that people write with. And no.
Here's the thing. That was
I'm disappointed now.
Knitting needle, and it was a metal knitting needle.
You can't bring that on.
Bullshit! She got that on a plane.
Hold on. When does this take place? Because you saw the phone. It wasn't a new phone, right?
Yeah,
we have to remember this is. Is it after 9/11?
After 2001, yes.
Okay.
It's when the zombie apocalypse starts when Walking Dead starts, 2010.
Okay, I was under the impression that Walking Dead wasn't in the current year when it started. I thought it was earlier in the timeline.
No, I'm pretty sure it was current year, but I think now they're not in our current year because the time has been through the Walking Dead seasons has not been consistent with the way the seasons were.
So wait,
okay.
When was 9/11? No, don't tell me it was on September 11th. I'll kill you.
It's 2001.
What year? It was 2001. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Yeah. No. Sorry. It's after.
I knew I was in high school when it happened. I just couldn't remember if it was 2000 or 2001.
No, it's
there was no way she got that on a plane.
She did not get this on a plane.
But they did miss a golden opportunity. If it was a big pen for her to stab the zombie in the eye or stab the lady in the eye, to go just be like, "You just got bicked,"
and go click 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 click.
While it's in her eye.
Yeah.
Click it.
That's what I would have done.
So I enjoyed this series. What I didn't like was I didn't like a couple things. It just started. It was a cold open if ever I freaking saw one.
Mm-hmm.
There was no easing in. There was no introduction. Just like, boom, you're on a plane. There are these people. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Well, you got to look at it from a realistic point of view too. Is you get onto a plane and you don't know everybody that's on there. Like they're really trying to make this kind of like you were there on that flight.
I think it's less of that and more of we have this 30-second spot to start this story. Which that's the other thing I did not like about it.
I know the first episode that aired was not 30 seconds. The first episode that aired I think was almost 2 minutes long.
But they split it up.
Afterwards, they split it. Every consecutive thing is it aired in its entirety originally, not in its entirety, but 2 minutes in its entirety. The first 2 minutes were aired. It was like after The Walking Dead or something, or after it was Fear the Walking. It was something like that. 2 minutes of it aired consecutively, and then subsequently after that, it was split into 30-second pieces.
No, I'm pretty sure the first episode of the 6th season of The Walking Dead was when they did the first one, and they split that 2 minutes up into 2 minute chunks in 2 different commercial breaks. Because I
No,
remember
honey,
watching
it
it, I was like, "There's no
was...
story. What just
No, no,
happened?"
no. They first aired this after Fear.
After Fear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the point. Was after Fear, they're like, "Oh, this is going to tie in." You know, they gave us the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, they gave us the first 2 minutes, and then it was
They may have
very
recorded it during
slowly
Walking Dead,
released after.
but I'm fairly certain I remember getting a decent chunk of it.
Yeah, it was either a minute and a half or 2 minutes, but I'm almost positive it was 2 minutes.
Because the kid's whole phone thing is over 30
Oh,
seconds. That
you're
was
right.
definitely...
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, because the season finale of Fear was October 4th, and the season premiere of Walking Dead was October 11th. Those were the first two episode part things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I remembered watching it in the middle of The Walking Dead. It's my bad.
yeah, because
I
I know
really like how
they strung the first 8 parts together after that, and that was the 2 minute piece, and then 4 minutes added to the end of that because they were 30-second clips after that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just think this would have been better just released on the website, not in the commercial breaks.
Because I streamed Walking Dead, so I never watched it on TV, so I didn't even have a DVR to go through and watch this. So
Yeah.
I completely avoided it. The only time I saw it was when it aired initially, because I'd watched like Fear live or maybe the premiere of Walking Dead live, I remember. So I remember watching the first 2 minutes of it, and I was like, huh, this is interesting, but I don't like short little bursts like that. So I was like, I'm not going to watch this until it's all done. And that's exactly what I did. I waited, because I went back now after, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember the whole phone and, the mother, and then it cuts like to the lady in the jacket. What did you say her name was?
Charlie.
Charlie. Cut to her like looking back at him and closing the window.
Yeah,
and then
the
them
kids
saying there's no flights taking off or something like that, and him being like, what happened? And texting his mom, and it says, message failed, and that's right about where the first episode ended. And I was like,
yeah,
this is kind of interesting, but it's not gonna hold my attention when they keep doing bursts like this. Like,
yeah, the kid's name is Jake.
okay.
Yeah, I honestly loved the ending where they're going down and Charlie goes to sit next to Jake, and she's like, I'm sorry, I took your mother's seat. This was your mother's seat. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that was very nice of her, but to me, the damn moment was Nicholas from season 1 of Fear the Walking Dead, watching the plane fly overhead, and I was like, I remember him watching that plane.
Yes, yeah, because we saw that and we were like, that's the flight. That's the web series is about. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it probably turned out for the best, because I think they all would have been dead if she wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about her.
Them.
She's the mystery. How does she know this? How does she know how to stop them? She obviously is running away from them.
Yeah, because
she's getting on the plane to try to get away from these zombies.
If you think back now into the context of when that was early on. It was either the first or second episode of Fear. I'm almost gonna bet it was the first episode.
Look.
And
you will know, because that was when they were. Wasn't that when they were already
during
in
the
quarantine?
compound?
Yeah. So this is like a week in to the
quarantine. I thought it was when Nick was still on drugs.
This was when he was wandering around.
Right.
Yeah, he was trying to steal the old man's drugs.
Yeah, they're already in the little...
Because he was clean.
Yeah.
And he was...
episode 2, I think.
But...
Was.
Okay, so episode 2. So we didn't see them learn about the zombies until like late on in like episode 4. When they're seeing them in the streets, and it was either episode 3 or 4 in the streets, and they're like, oh my god, and it's being reported on the news and stuff like that. So the world didn't know.
Yeah. But in...
So I don't know how she would know, because it's not like she just watched it on TV, got onto a plane, and is trying to get out of there. Like, so she would have had to experience this firsthand somewhere else, and wherever they were coming from.
While I was watching this, I had the thought. I mean, she looks a little disheveled. She doesn't look like a person in the professional world, but she could have been. I think she was at the CDC, or she was somewhere where they were dealing with this outbreak. Before where the government was trying to keep it hush. I think we talked about this during
Yeah.
our fear podcast, where like they were trying to keep it quiet because they didn't want people to freak out. So I think she was within whatever circle it was trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Or I have a feeling. Well, to kind of piggyback on that, I get the feeling she probably wasn't from LA. That she was trying to get away from
Yes.
this whole thing by flying to LA, and then realized, well, LA is fucked. You know.
I mean, yeah. Well, the plane was originally going to Phoenix,
Yes.
Arizona,
Which isn't
but they
far.
had to. Yeah. They had to reroute because no one was answering.
Well,
Oh, there's
not
no
only that,
left.
but the power was going out.
I couldn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wasn't it nighttime when the things were going out, and from Phoenix to
Oh wait,
LAX, all of a sudden the lights. It was daytime. Like.
Oh wait,
I
I
think
didn't
they were
realize
circling for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had to have been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they were probably
It's just-
at there, and they were like, "Why aren't no one's picking up? We can't land yet. No one's picking up."
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, because how long does a plane like that keep in reserve tank for fuel? Because I thought they didn't overfill them to
They
a certain
really don't.
to a certain degree, and I think they compensate in for an extra like 2 hours or something like that. From what
Yeah.
the flight is. Anything more than that, they really don't do. If it's overseas and stuff like that, it's a bit of a different story. Because then you have special planes with huge reserve tanks and stuff, and they have to compensate for, extra time on the flight in case of any complications. But for a commercial flight like that that's going coast to coast, do we even know where the plane started from?
Actually, wait. It left from Los Angeles. It left from Los Angeles going to Phoenix, and they turned around and went back to LA. That's what happened. I was under
Okay.
the assumption they were going from a completely different place to
Yeah.
Arizona. But it was going
that
from LA to
was-
Phoenix.
That was LAX. They left from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't think that plane could have probably stayed in the air for that long. But whatever. I mean, I can't imagine a flight from LA to Phoenix is more than like 3-4 hours.
Yeah. It can't be
Right.
much.
There's
I
no
mean-
way.
2
it's-
hours?
There's no way it's even that. I'd
No,
say an
yeah.
hour and a
No.
half tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
From New
'cause
York to Florida is 2 hours.
it's 2.5, 3 hours at the absolute most. I took a 3-hour flight one time, and I think it was an hour and a half with wind currents, and stuff like that.
And I guess further proof is Jake's mom was saying that she could drive there to meet
Yeah,
him at Phoenix. So it's not like she would have taken her.
and he
drive.
was even
Oh, yeah.
saying, because they got rerouted and everything, he goes, well, she's probably already with my dad.
Nope, she's dead. Deader
Maybe.
than dead.
Maybe, we don't know for sure.
Probably dead. Well,
His mom was really calm, though. Like, she knew. Like, there's screaming going on in the background, and she was really calm and reassuring to her son, and that got him more worried. So
Yeah.
I'm curious if she knew, what was going down.
Sure, I had a better idea than he did.
Yeah, he seemed to have no clue. He's probably sitting in the airport with his headphones in the whole time. So. That's what I do when I go
Yeah.
to the airport.
So, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Who was I don't even remember his name. Dipshit who got bit. Who was bit before he got on the plane.
Something with an M.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Yeah. So he goes to the bathroom, doesn't come out.
He had a chunk missing out of his stomach.
Yeah. He
Reminded me
super
of
bit.
Saw. Like, I was looking for, like, a jigsaw piece,
Yeah.
He just had. It's just his ulcer.
It just burst on the plane
Yeah.
and bit its way out.
I don't know who's stupider, him or his wife. I
The
don't know who gets
wife.
the dark.
That's
The wife.
that's the kind of wife who's just
I
like,
just want to say goodbye to him.
Hands down, the wife was stupider.
Like,
yeah.
did you not see what he
'Cause
was
I
just
want to
doing?
see my husband. No, you don't.
Because think of it this way:
Like, she
A
just-
lot of people don't know exactly what's going on with it, right? So I can understand the guy just thinks he's sick, or was bit, or something. Because he looks like he was bit, you know. And they're living in a world where zombies don't exist, right? That's why they've never been referred to as zombies in context of the universe of the show. So
Yes.
if he's bit by some crazed guy, he just thinks he's sick, right? And he's like, oh, that guy maybe had hepatitis and he bit me and he was on, some bath salts or something. And, I have to go to the hospital and I need to get out of here now and go to, like, my doctor if he's not from the area.
But you know what? Yeah, I mean, maybe, but he was clearly trying to hide that fact from
Yeah.
everybody. Like, he knew something was going to go wrong, and her part, like, he fucking attacked you, and the air
Right.
marshal, like, what did you think was going to fucking
That
happen?
air marshal wasn't
Like,
very
Also-
smart either.
you know what? I love
he
you.
also-
Sorry, I tried to bite you in the mouth.
As soon as he was like, please go sit down, U.S. Air Marshal, I was like, the odds of there actually being an air marshal on board this particular flight is so slim.
Well, someone had to shoot the fucking window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
was
had
like,
to crash
I
somehow.
was thinking initially, I was like, did the zombie scratch the window? Like, what the? And then I was like, oh wait,
He
fucking
shot.
air marshal. The air marshal just shot like fucking his entire clip into the guy's
Unloaded.
chest.
And when he finally went to go shoot it in the head, too late. But yeah, I'm just like, every show, every movie, there's always an air marshal on board. It's like,
At least
Anyway.
it wasn't Liam Neeson.
it's true.
So I would just be like, Liam Neeson, you're here? Shut up, I'm an air marshal.
Even Lost had an air marshal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's honestly initially what I thought of. I was like,
I mean, now, all right. I guess I'll give them this, that should the government have known that there were disasters occurring, they could have warned the airlines, like, hey, make sure there's an air marshal on every flight. That could have happened. They
Yeah.
might not have given them specifics, but been just like, we're on high alert.
But as far as I know, all the planes were grounded. Why did this one plane take off?
I don't know.
Like what's up with the
I have no
captain?
idea.
Because clearly the cockpit's supposed to be locked, right? And we see the plane doing evasive maneuvers in the air, at the end when Nicholas is watching. So something happened with the captain.
Yeah, because we never see the captain. He never, like, besides,
Do you
buckle
think he
in,
got
he never says
crunchitized?
anything. What?
Do you think he got crunchitized?
Crunchitize?
From all I'm thinking is maybe the co-pilot decided he heard the ruckus and he's gonna go investigate, and now the door's open and zombies get into the cockpit. That's what I'm thinking. But
Or,
Well, I'm sure
the
we'll-
plane's decompressing and it's losing altitude.
well, yeah, that too.
I mean,
Because that is
Like-
what happened at the end.
Doesn't
Like,
at
that
some
plane will
point
crash.
though the air level out in there and you're able to fly it again at some point? Not
If
initially, obviously,
a
but
larger hole isn't torn into the plane,
yeah,
because explosive decompression is ugly.
yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, I guess it depends
They
on
weren't-
how high you were, which they didn't look like they were very high in the
Yeah,
air
I
to
was-
begin with.
yeah, I was gonna say that they weren't very high. If they started falling, there might not have been room or time to, fix it.
It's not like the air marshal could whip out a gun and shoot a window on the opposite side of the plane to try to balance it out.
You make it even.
Not sure that would work either.
I think it would be a better chance,
Maybe.
but I don't know how the air decompression works in a plane. But I know they have planes that fly around with doors that open all the time. They're not commercial flights or anything like that. So it's possible for a plane to fly that is not
Yeah.
compressed.
I mean, it's a pressurized cabin, that's
right.
why.
Yeah.
So, all the air is rushing out.
Yeah.
Because it's going from the high to low resistance.
Right. So
and
it's
such.
just at the point when all that air actually leaves.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
every ounce of air in the plane is getting sucked through a hole this big. So,
Right.
you know.
I was a little disappointed we didn't. I mean, the stewardess was great. She was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't get much from her, and then she got scratched real quick, and I was like, ah, no.
Just tie her down.
Stewardess.
Then tape up her arm.
Then
So-
help her. Restrain her first.
I guess the question is who survives and makes it
yeah.
onto the ship.
Well, it's also gonna depend on. I mean, they're landing in the water.
Luckily, they're going to a boat for this season.
Right?
Yes.
You know, they got their
So
swim
I
trunks
think-
and their flippy floppies.
They're probably going to. Whoever survives is going to be in the wreckage, and that might be an enticing thing to go scavenge if you're out.
I think it's going to be both
on the water for
both the girl and the young boy.
the kid. Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Jake and Charlie will probably make it. Well, there might be like a life raft on the boat. They just like fucking steal it and go to the yacht
Most seats have the flotation device built into the seat.
for that.
You
Yeah.
know, and
And
then
the slides that come out of the doors turn into rafts.
yeah, but it depends on
How
many
crash.
zombies are in the plane, and
Well, they killed the two. I mean, there's just the stewardess now that's locked up.
right, and she's hopefully tied well. But you know, if all they did was put a seatbelt on her, yes, if she's a full blown zombie, that's gonna be enough to keep her down. But if they put her seatbelt on and she's like, oh shit, unbuckles her seatbelt, then dies,
They
there's
cuffed
still
her.
a zombie in the plane.
They cuffed her to the seat.
Arms can fall off.
So it's a time bomb. I mean, I don't know. I guess, you know, there's obviously going to be some conflict on the boat in Fear. Because they're not just going to get on the boat and fucking sail away happily ever after. So maybe, you know, Jake and Charlie got to it first, and they're like, the fuck you doing on my boat? And, you know, Matchstick Man over there is like, what the fuck you doing on my boat? I don't remember his name at all.
And
I don't either.
that's why I'm so interested for Fear this coming season, because every time anybody talks about a zombie apocalypse, it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna get on a boat and just go sail away to a desert island and just live, and there will be no problems, and we're gonna find out exactly why that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I love, and it's not the first time that someone's tore apart that theory too, and I just love when they do it.
Yeah.
And I know that this is going to be exceptionally unique.
Yep.
So,
Like, Fear was definitely lacking in its first season. There were some really weak points to it. There were some really strong points too.
yeah,
Overall, I think it was a good setup. Vague, like a loose setup. I don't think everything was great about it. I honestly enjoyed this web series more than I enjoyed all of last season. Just throwing that out there.
I guess because it was so short, but they presented all of these characters, and I guess I was just a little disappointed we didn't get to see really all of them. You know what I mean? But
Well,
it was
yeah.
a short amount of time, and the important part was Jake and Charlie.
Yeah, it takes time to set something up like that, and like I said, getting onto a plane with strangers, you're not gonna really know who the hell is. It would be like if you were really on the plane in that situation, you would have found out exactly the same thing you were from what you watched. You know, like you go back and you know, it's 10 years, over 10 years now since Lost has been off the air. You go back to like the pilot episode of that, you had no fucking clue who anybody was.
No.
You know, you knew who introduced themselves, who they were. You saw them on the plane together, but nobody fucking knew anything. And it's kind of the exact same boat, especially when a crisis breaks out. You know, you're not going to know who everybody is. You're not going to know the guy next to you from, you know, the guy in the front seat.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for a second season of Fear.
Yeah. I wish there was a
That's
little bit of a
it.
break between, you know, even if it was
There's
like a
no
week.
break.
I'd
Diving
take it
in.
a week.
You know, even a week would have been nice.
One
but
week would have been perfect, but we're just diving in. It's fine. It's okay. It's cool.
Yeah.
We got this.
Is there going to be a break between this and? There's going to be a break between this and Walking Dead.
there better
Yeah.
be.
Because Walking
I'm not-
Dead's coming back in October, and there's gonna be at least a month. I can't imagine
Well, is this
Fear would
16
take
episodes or
long.
12?
12.
12, okay.
Or
So 3
14?
months.
12 or 14?
Okay. So about 3 months, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, but, I mean, I guess I am a little glad that it'll be a longer season because, like, they'll actually get to breathe and they'll be able to do stuff. Because, honestly, the only episode I really liked of Fear was, I think, the part where they were raiding the military facility.
Season 2 is going to be 15 episodes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, I think what the first season of Fear did well was characters. They did that very well.
Yes. Yeah. Plot,
Yeah, little bit.
a little bit. It's okay.
But yeah, I think
We'll
that
have
this
to
is
see.
gonna obviously the tension is gonna be tension's gonna be there's gonna be more character development coming, which is nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully Charlie and Jake meet up with the main group and they become best pals. And, you know, what's
Or
his name?
hopefully don't want to kill each other too hard.
Or
That's
like, you
really
know,
all I'm hoping for.
so at least a little shitbag can stop wanting to bang his half sister. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be great. So, John, where can people find you?
You can find me and other incestual comments at no more on Twitter.
Dom.
Down there.
Phenomenal. You can find me at Clio on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest, and you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows like The Walking Dead universe. We're doing it all. Till next time.
Later.
Bye-bye.
They should just make Fear the Walking Dead a web series too. I'd like it more.
32nd bursts of a 15-episode season.
Yeah.